Hello students, today we'll start with the new chapter statistics. Okay, exercise 18a. Now in the first exercise we will have sums where we have to make tables, frequency tables, cumulative frequency, frequency distribution. We'll learn about that. And in exercise 18b we have to draw graphs. So I request you to make sure that you have at least 10 to 12 graph papers with you. I hope most of you have your graph books also. For those who do not have, just check or borrow it with someone. Around 10 to 12 graph papers, not more than that. Okay. So it will take at least two videos for us to complete exercise 18a, after which we'll start exercise 18b when we'll need graph papers. Okay, the first exercise, very easy, not at all difficult. This is the first type of sums. This is the question number 2. Question number 1 is name the following, or just objective type question. Those type of questions do not come in maths. So we'll start with question number 2. Question number 2 says, given below are marks obtained by 30 students in an examination, and these are the marks. I've copied the marks here. 30, they are 30 marks. These are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 27, 30. Okay, so 30 marks, 30 students who have obtained these marks. Okay, we have to take the class intervals. We have to take the class intervals as 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, and so on. Okay, till 41 to 50. This is given in the question. All this information is there in the question. And make a frequency table for the above distribution. What we have to make? A frequency table. Okay, so let's see how to make a frequency table. It has 3 columns. The first column is the marks. The second column is tally marks. I'll explain you what is tally marks. And the third column is frequency. Okay. Now these marks means we have to write the class intervals here. Class intervals denotes that 1 to 10 means students who have secured marks between 1 to 10. Okay, for example, someone who scored 2 marks, someone who scored 7, someone who scored 9 would lie in this range. Correct. So this is class intervals. Intervals means the range. So here we will write these range here. 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, and 41 to 50. They have told that this is the last range in the question. Now what will we do? We'll see that how many students have scored between 1 to 10. Okay, from the given data. Let's start. See, we'll check like this. You can check like this also, whatever suits you. So the first student, yes, he has scored less than 10. His marks are between 1 to 10. So this tally mark means if we get one value which lies between this range, we denote it as one line, one standing line. Okay, so one student got 8 marks, means between 1 to this 8 is between 1 to 10. Correct. So 1 batch. Then 9 is also between 1 to 10. We got one more number which fits in our range. Okay, Then let's see, 36, 15, 17, 18, 32. These all numbers are greater than 10. These all numbers are greater than 10. Here I have 2. 2 is between 1 to 10. So I'll put one more line here. Okay. Then here 0, 1. Between 1 to 10. I'll put one more line here. So till now I have got 4 students who scored between 1 to 10. Further, okay, so there are only 4 students who have scored between 1 to 10. So I put 4 standing lines here. Okay, so that means frequency is 4. There are 4 people who have scored between 1 to 10. When I put this standing lines, these sticks, they are called as tally marks. Okay. Now let's go to the second range, 11 to 20. So let's see how many people have scored between 11 to 20. So 15. 15 is between 11 to 20. 1. 15. Then 17, 18. Okay, so 2 more. 1, 2. Then 14 is between 11 to 20. So 1 more. Now 19 is between 11 to 20. So see, we have already marked 4 here. In tally marks, if the number of sticks is more than 4, the 5th stick we make like this. Okay, this means that it forms a bundle of 5. Okay, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5 total. This is a bundle of 5. Okay, so till now we got 5 values which are between 11 to 20. 15, 17, 18, 14 and 19. Okay, now further there is 16, there is 20. Between 11 to 20 means 20 will also come. Okay, so 20, 16 and 11. So 3 more values. So now these 3 values I will write here. 3. Okay, so why the 5th line is drawn like this? So that the calculation becomes easy. Okay, for example, let's say I'm counting some numbers. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one I draw like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. When I do like this, I make bundles of 5. So the calculation becomes easy. Or else, because if you do it like this without making any bundles, it will be very difficult to count. Okay, that how many lines have come. So if you draw like this, it's 5 plus 5 plus 5. This is 15. Counting becomes easy. Okay, so that is why in tally marks, the 5th stick, we make it like this. So it forms a bundle and we start a new group then. Okay, so here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what is the frequency here? It is 8. Okay. Now between 21 to 30. So let's count between 21 to 30. 21 to 30. Here 24. So I got one value. 21 to 30. So 30 will also come. 22 will also come. 1, 2. So 2 more numbers. 21 to 30. 23 will also come between 21 to 30. Then 29 will also come. Okay. And 21 will also come. So 3 more numbers. Means 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th stick will come like this. And 6th stick will come here. Okay. Between 21 to 30. See how many values we got. We got 21 to 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 values between 21 to 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Frequency will be 6. Okay. So in the same way, if you have understood, you can pause the video and count the number of sticks for between 31 to 40 and 41 to 50. Okay. Do it on your own. 1, 2, 3, 4, 'Wait, even I am counting 1, 2, 3, 40 will also come. 40 because it is 31 to 40. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I'm getting 6 values, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So frequency will be 6. Okay, now 41 to 50. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 again. I got, there are 6 numbers, so 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, so this is also 6. Now remember that when you add all these numbers to check your answer, you add all these numbers, the total should always be equal to these numbers. Okay, these were how many numbers? There were 30 numbers. In the question also they had given that there are 30 students. So when you add these, you must get answer 30. Okay, so this is 12, 4 plus 8, 12, 12 plus 6, 18, 18 plus 6, 24, 24 plus 6, 30. So this is my frequency table. Okay, I hope you have understood. So no need to copy this data in the notebook, just draw directly this frequency table. Okay, this is a very simple topic. There is one more variation in this type of sum, which is question number 3. Okay, after that we'll start a new topic. So question number 3, I'll quickly copy the data for you. By the time you copy this in your notebook, this is the data: 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. There are 24 candidates, marks of 24 candidates. Okay, and we have been told that the maximum marks are 50. Make a frequency distribution table. We are making a frequency distribution table, taking the class interval as, I'll write here, marks, tally marks, and frequency. Marks, the range, they have given the range to us. The range is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, till where I'll cover. In the question they had given the maximum marks are 50, so till maximum 50. Okay, but if you see carefully, there is a difference between this data and this data. Here you see we had 1 to 10. The next range started from 11 to 20. Okay, so this number where the first range ends, the next range starts from the next number. Okay, but here see 0 to 10 and the same number is repeated here, 10 to 20, then 20 to 30, then 30 to 40. That means there will be a confusion now, that if for example I have here, let's say, number 30, where should I count, where should I take this number, from 20 to 30 or 30 to 40? This is a question, a confusion. So always remember, whenever you have a number, okay, this last number which gets repeated here, whenever you have such type of number, you always take it in the second one. Okay, means if there is 30, you will count this 30 in this range. Okay, so 30 is actually in this range, 30 to 40. Okay, from 20 to 30, 30 is not counted here. This is actually 20 to 29. Okay, it is written in such a way to confuse us. Okay, but you have to understand, if 30 comes, if I have to take 30, I will not count 30 in 20 to 30 range. I will take it in 30 to 40 range. Okay, so remember, this 0 to 10 means this 10 is not there in this range. It is actually 0 to 9. This 10 to 20, it's actually 10 to 19. 20, because there is a confusion to where to take 20. So we have to take it in the lower range, always in the next range where it starts. Okay, so 40 is included in this range, 30 is included in this range. Okay, I hope you have understood. Now one more thing, so what if I have a number 50 here? Where should I take 50? Because I have told you that this range is actually 40 to 49. So 50 will not come in this range. I will have to make one extra range here, 50 to 60. And this 50 to this range, this value 50 will come in this range. Okay, sometimes in few schools they include this 50 in this range only. Okay, so actually both are correct, because it is a last value, the table is getting end here. So rather than making a new range, they sometimes fit this 50 in this range only, because there is no answer given behind the textbook. You just have to make a table. So sometimes they do that. That is okay, even if you include it in this last range or you make a new range, it doesn't matter. But one thing is very important here, that for this confusion, that if there is a number 20, do not include 20 in this range. 20 is actually here from 20 to 30. Okay, so these last numbers are not in their range. Okay, this 20 is actually in 20 to 30. This 30 number is actually in 30 to 40 range. Okay, I hope I'm clear. Now, like I counted in the previous sum between 0 to 10, this is actually 0 to 9. So I found the number between 0 to 9 and then I wrote here. There is one more way of doing it. You can choose whichever you find it easy. Like another way is, start from a number and keep making lines. Means, see, 45. 45 is between which range? 40 to 50. So I'll put one dash here. Then 29 is between 20 to 30. 15 is between 10 to 20. Then 48 is between here. Then 0 is in the first range. 30 is in this range, 30 to 40. So one dash here. In this way, for each number you keep on writing. Okay, so here the chances of making mistake reduces significantly. Okay, like here we used to find numbers which fit in our range. So sometimes it may happen that you may miss a number. Okay, so in school, in textbook, they will teach you this method, that you search for numbers in this range. Okay, but this method of making tally marks is also very easy. Okay, this helps you. So till 30 we had done. Now 15 is between 10 to 20, so I'll put a dash here. Then 3 is here. 11 is in this range. 23 is in this range. 12 is in this range. 42 is here. Then 30, again 30 is in this range. Sorry, 30 is here. 30 to 40. 48 is here. 23 is in this range. 35 is in this range. 50, I'll make a separate range here for 50. 2 is here. 40 will be here between 40 to 50. But here you see 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is one more stick, so that stick will come like this. Okay, fifth stick will come like this. Then 18 is here. This is also the fifth stick, so it will come like this. Fifth stick comes like this. Then 3 is here, one more stick. 11, so 11 is here. 30, again 30. See, 30 is repeated so many times. Why 30 is repeated so many times? Because they want you to understand that 30 will not come in this range. 30 will come in this range, 30 to 40. Okay. Then 44 is here. Now let's write the frequency 1, 2, 3, 4. Frequency is 4. 5 plus 1, 6. 3, 4. Again 5 plus 1, 6. And 1. Okay. Those who count this 50 in this range will get this answer 6 as 7. That's okay. So total, you have to count the total. I have told you that these were the marks of 24 students. So you will get this answer also as 24. So total, let's count 10, 13, 17, 23, 24. So answer is 24. Okay. Copy this table. Now the question 4 is again filling the blanks. Okay, so leave it. Now let's learn some new concepts, which are actual class limits, actual upper limit, what are they? Class mark, class size, all those. Here I've written a class interval. This is an example. This is not a sum from your exercise. This is an example. See, now here the class interval is 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40. There is some mistake, there is some problem here. Not a mistake, I can say. There is some problem here in this class interval. Okay, let's say these are marks of students. So I tell you to arrange this. I give you a marks of 30 students in the class, and I ask you to find how many students have scored between 1 to 10, how many have scored between 11 to 20, just now as we did in some number second and third. What if a student got, let's say a student got 7 marks. Okay, so you will add his name here, correct? If a student got 13 marks, he will come in this range. What if a student got 10.5 marks? He cannot come in this range 1 to 10, correct? And he cannot even come in this range 11 to 20. So where will this student go? If someone got 20.5, even he may not come in the range between 11 to 20. 20.5 is after 20, and 21 to 30 means 20.5 is actually between 20 and 21, and it is not covered in this range. That means whenever you have the class interval in this form where there is a break in the intervals, you see 1 to 10, then 11 to 20, means there is a break here. There is a gap of one mark. Okay, this is called as this is called non-continuous interval. Okay, and these intervals will give us incorrect answers, so we have to make these continuous. Now how to make this continuous? By using adjustment factor. What is adjustment factor? See the difference. There is a gap of how many marks here? From 10 to 11 there is a gap of 1 mark, correct? So whatever is the gap, okay, whatever is the gap, this difference, okay, you have to divide it by 2. So here in this case the difference is 1. From 10 to 11 the difference is 1. So I'll write 1 upon 2. 1 upon 2 is 0.5. So the adjustment factor is 0.5. Now how to use it? I'll write here. So this adjustment factor, how to use this adjustment factor, I'll write here. Now note down these points because they are not given in textbook. Okay, so once you have the adjustment factor with you, what you have to do, subtract from the lower limit, add in the upper limit. What is lower limit and upper limit? See, this is a range. So 1 is the lower limit, 10 is the upper limit. In this range, 11 is the lower limit, 20 is the upper limit. So these are called as, so these values on the left hand side are lower limit and these values are upper limit. Okay, and these are class intervals. They are called as class: first class, second class, third class, and fourth class. Okay, if I ask you what is the lower limit of the fourth class, so 1 2 3 4, this is the fourth class. The lower limit is 31, upper limit is 40. Okay, so I'm teaching you how to name them, how to find simple values. So these are classes. So this is the first class, the second class, and so on. Fourth class. Okay, now subtract from the, okay, so now we have to find the actual limits. Okay, these limits had a problem that there was a gap in them. So to solve that problem, I used adjustment factor. I got the value 0.5. Now I will subtract this 0.5 from lower limit and add the 0.5 in upper limit. Means for the first class, the lower limit is this. Subtract 0.5 from 1. So 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5, correct? And add in the upper limit. So 10 plus 0.5 will become 10.5, correct? So subtract from here and add the value here. So 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5, 10 plus 0.5 is 10.5. Same thing for the next class. Subtract from the lower limit. 11 minus 0.5. 11 minus 0.5 is 10.5. And 20 plus 0.5 is 20.5. Okay. So subtract from 21. You will get 20.5. Add in 30. So this will become 30.5. Then again here, this 31. Subtract from 31. You will get 30.5. Add in 40. What? The adjustment factor. We are adding and subtracting the adjustment factor to 40.5. Now you see the data is continuous. See, 0.5 to 10.5, then 10.5 to 20.5, 20.5 to 30.5. Now it is continuous, correct? So we changed a discontinuous data into a continuous data by using this adjustment factor. Okay. Subtract from the lower limit and add in the upper limit. Okay. Now this was one thing where you learned the points which we are learning here. First you learned what are lower and upper limits. Okay, so these are lower limit and upper limit. Now I'm noting down the points which we learn, which we keep on learning here. This page is very important for explanation. Whatever I'm writing here in this page today, everything is your explanation. Okay. Now what are actual limits? So these are actual limits. After subtracting and adding the adjustment factors, the limits which you get are called as actual limits. Okay, so if I ask you the actual lower limit of the first class, so this is the first class, and the actual lower limit means from actual limits column, this is the first class and the lower limit is 0.5. So actual lower limit is 0.5, actual upper limit is 10.5. So in the question, if they ask you what are actual lower and upper limits. So you will write these values. They may ask you of any class, of class 4, of class 2nd, or they may ask you to find for all the classes. So you have to draw a table like this. Okay, so you understood what are actual lower and actual upper class limits. Now these actual lower and actual upper class limits, basically these actual class limits have 2-3 more names. Okay, these actual limits are also called as true limits. Okay, they are called as true limits or class boundaries. These actual limits are also called as true limits or class boundaries. Understood? So sometimes you may ask class boundaries. What are class boundaries? These are class boundaries. Just the name is different. So actual limits are also called as true limits or they are called as class boundaries. Okay, so remember these alternate names. Now, almost everything is done. Two more concepts. What is class size and what is class mark? Okay, this class mark is also called as mid value. Okay, I'll explain you what it is. First, we understand what is class mark. Class mark means midpoint of this actual limits. Okay, actual limits, class boundaries, midpoint of actual limits. How to find the midpoint of actual limits? For example, if they ask you, give me the class mark of the first class. So what will you do? These are the actual lower limit and actual upper limit, correct? To find the class mark, we have to add the actual limits and divide it by 2. Means if they ask you the class mark of the first class, class mark of the first class means 0.5 and 10.5. So 0.5 plus 10.5 upon 2. So this is 11 upon 2, that is 5.5. So what is the class mark for the first class? Add both the limits and divide by 2. That's it. Add both the limits and divide by 2. So for the second class, if they ask us for the second class, so this is the second class. Remember, you have to use this column, actual limits column, okay, not this column, actual limits column, always. So 10.5 plus 20.5. We are finding for class 2, second class. 10.5 plus 20.5. If you add 10 plus 20, 30 plus 0.5 plus 0.5, this is 31 upon 2. Okay, what is 31 upon 2? It is 15.5. So the class mark for the second class is 15.5. I hope you have understood what is class mark. Class mark means add both the limits and divide by 2. Okay. Now next is class size. Class size is so if I want to find the class size of any class, for example, I ask you the class size of third class. Tell me the class size of third class. So the third class is, see the actual limits, always refer this actual limit. It is 20.5 to 30.5, correct? So difference between the actual limits. So the class size will be, example of third class will be the difference between the actual limits. Difference between the actual limits means upper minus lower, okay, because the value of upper limit is more than the lower limit. If we subtract the lower minus upper, we'll get a negative value. To avoid that, we subtract upper minus, we take upper minus lower. That is 30.5 minus 20.5. This difference is 10. That means the class size for the third class is 10. Okay, and one more thing, the class size for all class remains the same. Okay, so even if they ask you for the second class, so second class is 20.5 minus 10.5, the answer will remain the same. The class size remains same for all the classes, okay, in a particular sum. For different sums it may vary. Okay, so today we studied a few new concepts. Like the first one was, these limits which are given in the question are normal lower limit and upper limit, okay, but they are always discontinuous. So to make them continuous, we use adjustment factor. What is adjustment factor? Whatever difference you have here, the difference in this case was 1, so you divide that by 2, you get 0.5. Now to make the actual limits, we subtract 0.5 from the lower limit and add 0.5 in the upper limit. So 1 minus 0.5, 10 plus 0.5. Similarly, we get the actual limits. Okay, these actual limits are very important. Now then, what is class mark? Class mark, which is also called as mid value. How to find it? If they ask you the class mark of second class, add both the values and divide by 2. Okay, add both the values, add the upper limit and the lower limit and divide by 2. If they ask you the class size, then take the difference of these actual limits. Okay, these are all type of questions which they can ask in a particular sum. Okay, so revise this example today, copy each and everything, copy this entire page properly. Okay, I'll hold it for some time, pause the video and copy this. These are all the topics which we did. Now the sums based on this topic will start in the next class. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.